everybody. Beer, sharpness and Easter. So beer first. I had a comment a while ago, I think it was from Trilobite00, that my Beer Fridays haven't featured any Vice beer. And he was right. I haven't had any Vice beer for a long time. So I thought we'd put that right. I've got a bottle of Hoegaarden, give or take the pronunciation. But round here we pronounce it Hoegaarden. I hope that's reasonable. This is, in the UK, probably the most popular and most easily obtainable Belgian wheat beer. So we're going to try that. It is 4.9% alcohol by volume. The little dinky glass, the reason will become apparent in a minute. I've never had Hoegaarden out of the bottle. I've had it on draft many times. And if you buy a half, you get a little heavy tumbler style glass. But if you buy a pint, you get the same glass scaled up and it looks like a big glass plant pot. It's brilliant. I've also had comments on my Beer Fridays from friends in America saying that beer sounds nice, but I don't think I can get that over here. So I've picked another beer, another wheat beer, to compare it to. This one is Blue Moon from the Blue Moon Brewing Company. So hopefully, if anybody's interested, they might fancy a go at this. So I'll pour some of this out. And let's see what we're dealing with. Right, the Blue Moon, 5.4% by volume. A refreshing, unfiltered wheat beer brewed and spiced in the Belgian tradition for a uniquely complex taste and an uncommonly smooth finish. Whereas the Hoegaarden, struggling to find some English on the label. Here we go. A refreshing and surprisingly smooth taste with spicy coriander and a hint of orange peel. Naturally cloudy, blah blah blah. So, now, should anybody feel I'm being irresponsible by having two beers on the go at the same time, my channel, fuck off. And anyway, they're only little bottles. The two bottles together add up to less than a pint and a quarter. So, the Hoegaarden, which is for me the reference standard because it's the one I'm most familiar with. And that is lovely. It is very smooth. What did it say? Spicy coriander and a hint of orange peel. Can't see coriander. I get the orange peel. It's a very light, bright, fruity, spicy flavour generally. That is really nice. But how does the American beer stack up? Well, the colour is darker. Doesn't smell of anything. The Hoegaarden smells of beer at least. Now that's nice. It's much more beery, which I was surprised about. It's a much more malty, proper beer flavour. Not so spicy, even though I think they claimed it was. brewed and spiced in the Belgian tradition. I can't pick a winner because they're quite different. If you want light and citrusy, you could drink that quite cold on a hot day. But if you want something with a stronger beer flavour, it's the Blue Moon. So, Blue Moon, Oak Garden, very nice. So, Sharpness. Recently reviewed the Rough Rider Drop Point Hunter, and I commented in the video how the edge bevel seemed to be ground quite nicely. Well, it was a bit toothy and it didn't perform sparklingly well even after I give it a quick strop. So after the video I had another look at it, and as it turns out the bevel was ground quite coarsely, which you'd imagine. I remember Dino saying that a lot of factory grinds, the edge bevel's usually on a 60 or an 80 grit belt or stone, and this really did look that coarse. The grind lines were like a ploughed field, but that's not necessarily enough in itself to be a problem. The angle of the bevel was shallower along the belly, like that, and steeper at the hilt end, like that. It's going to make it quite difficult to sharpen. So I decided to have a play with it, see what we could do. Okay, so having realised that the factory edge wasn't quite as well done as it appeared, I decided to do a bit of work on it. And what I've done is I've put my edge on, and by that I mean rather than sharpen the knife freehand and try and match the factory bevel as you're sharpening, I just completely redo the bevel so that the angle fits the way I naturally tend to hold the knife during sharpening. So where does that get us? Got some phone book paper, but first off we'll have a quick reminder of how the factory edge performed. So you're okay on catalogue paper, but I think we might struggle on phone book paper. Actually, that's not too bad. Oh, out of the box. And as I say, because so if you compare that factory edge to where we are now, oh, clumsy there. There we go. I think you'll agree that's much nicer. Much nicer indeed. So now we've got the knife properly sharp. Oh, the question then is, how well will it retain that edge? So look out in the future for a proper testing video on my newly sharpened Rough Rider Drop Point Hunter. And for the last part of tonight's video, Easter. As you might imagine, with me being a bona fide grown up, I don't have the same enthusiasm for chocolate Easter eggs that I once had. But me and my lovely wife do exchange Easter gifts. And my Easter gift from my lovely wife arrived in the post this week. So I'd just like to show you a brief unboxing. Excuse me. And we'll have a proper look at it in a subsequent video. Okay, so here's a little parcel. Oh, very exciting. Let's see what we've got. of paperwork. Let's see. Vet doing the business. Otter Messer from Zollingen. Nicely wrapped. A cleaning wipe. And here we have the 167K is the model. Bone handle, slip joint with a carbon steel blade and a nice strong back spring. So I shall be doing a full review on that quite soon, hopefully. That's my Easter egg. So there we go. As I say, we'll have a proper look at the Otter in a subsequent review. While you've been watching that, I've come to a conclusion on the beer front. I'm going to go for the Hoegaarden. The Blue Moon is very, very nice, but because it's quite strongly beery, it's quite a mainstream, safe flavour. But the Hoegaarden is much more individual. That makes it more interesting. So, I've got my beers, one for each hand. Hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.